Okay, ever feel like you're just stuck? Like caught up in what everyone else is doing or thinking, trying to manage all the drama?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of being uh, pulled around by other people's stuff.
Yeah,
It's exhausting,
right.
right? You kind of lose track of your own life.
Totally. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. There's this new book by Mel Robbins, maybe you've heard of it, The Let Them Theory.
A life-changing tool that millions of people can't stop talking about, I think is the subtitle.
That's the one. And the whole idea hinges on just two words: let them. Sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Like, how can that free you up?
Well, that's the core promise, isn't it? Using let them to sort of detach from all the noise, the opinions, the judgments, the drama that just drains your energy.
Right. So our mission here, looking at, the book info, Amazon details, reviews, what people are actually saying,
Hmm.
is to figure out what's really going on with this theory. How can saying let them actually help you stop pouring energy into stuff you can't control anyway?
Yeah, and start focusing on what you want, what actually matters to you.
Okay, so the book apparently kicks off by saying the problem isn't really you.
Right. It's not about fixing yourself, fundamentally. It's about the power you're handing over to other people, to external things.
That constant effort to, like, manage everything and everyone around you. It's that cycle.
It's completely exhausting. Like you said, trying to anticipate reactions, control outcomes.
Yeah, it's like herding cats. You just can't do it.
Exactly. And that's where let them steps in. The book frames it as the way to take back the reins, you know,
Hmm.
to put the power to shape your life back where it belongs with you.
So the freedom comes from just letting go of needing to control or influence what others do or think.
Pretty much a freedom from their opinions, their drama, their judgments. It's about releasing that need for things to be a certain way externally.
Now, Mel Robbins, she's not new to this space, obviously.
No, definitely not. New York Times bestseller multiple times over. Big name in motivation, confidence, mindset stuff.
And her podcast, the Mel Robbins podcast, it's huge, right? Millions of listeners.
Yeah, massive following.
Yeah.
And her previous books, like The 5-Second Rule, The High Five Habit, they clearly resonated.
So she's got a track record. People trust her to offer practical ways to make changes.
Right. She brings that expertise to this let them theory.
Okay, so the book apparently outlines like 8 specific areas where this theory can make a real difference.
Hmm.
First one, and this hits home for me immediately, is stop wasting energy on things you just cannot control.
Think about how much mental real estate that takes up. Worrying, strategizing about stuff that's completely out of your hands.
Totally. So let them is like a conscious choice. Okay, I'm pulling my energy back from that and putting it here where I can make a difference.
Exactly. Redirecting that focus. Imagine how freeing that could feel.
Then there's the comparison trap. Oh boy. Social media doesn't help there, does it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Everyone's curated highlight reel versus your, everyday reality.
So let them helps you step out of that. Like, let them post their perfect pictures, let them have their wins. It doesn't diminish yours.
That seems to be the idea. Shift the focus inward. Your path, your progress, your own definition of success, rather than constantly measuring against others.
Okay, what about fear and self-doubt? How does let them play into that internal struggle?
Well, often that fear is tied to what other people might think, right? Fear of judgment, fear of failure in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you adopt a let them mindset, like let them judge, let them disagree, you kind of deflate the power of that potential criticism.
Ah, okay, so it creates a bit more internal safety to try things.
Yeah, potentially. Less weight given to the external what ifs.
And then there's releasing the grip of other people's expectations. That's a heavy one for a lot of people.
Definitely. Family expectations, societal pressures, what you think you should be doing.
So let them here means let them have their expectations, but you don't have to live by them.
Precisely. Acknowledge their view, perhaps, but ultimately, you choose your path based on your values. Let them think what they think.
Okay, but then, interestingly, it also talks about building better relationships, better friendships, the love you deserve. That seems counterintuitive if you're just letting them.
It does at first glance, maybe. But think about it. If you're not constantly trying to change or fix or manage the other person, you're allowing them to just be. And maybe that creates space for more authentic connection. Acceptance rather than control.
Okay, I see that. Relationships based on acceptance, not trying to mold someone. Makes sense.
hmm And that often leads to stronger, more fulfilling bonds.
It also mentions pursuing what matters with confidence, which
Mm.
follows, I guess, if you're less worried about external opinions.
Your internal compass gets stronger,
Right.
right?
Or
You trust your own motivations more. You're not seeking that constant outside approval.
which naturally builds confidence.
Okay, confidence in your own choices, your own direction.
And building resilience
Yeah.
against daily stress, distractions. We could all use more of that. How does let them help there?
By consciously deciding not to get sucked into every little piece of drama or every negative comment or every stressful news cycle you can't influence, let them be noise. You choose where your focus goes. That reduces the mental clutter, the overload.
So you have more energy left to handle actual challenges, focus on what's important.
Exactly. Less reactivity, more intentional response.
So wrapping up these key areas, it really sounds like the overarching goal is empowerment, defining your own success, your own joy.
Yes. Taking back ownership, living by your internal definition, not one imposed from the outside. It's about your path.
And the book itself, how does it deliver this? It sounds pretty accessible.
Yeah, the descriptions say it's easy to understand, lots of relatable stories, which always helps.
Right, makes it less abstract.
And key takeaways, research from psychology, neuroscience, even touches on things like happiness studies and ancient wisdom.
So it's trying to ground the concept in different ways, not just here's an idea, but here's why it works.
Seems like it. That mix of stories and science can be really effective.
Okay, let's talk reader feedback, because that tells us how it's actually landing, and it seems really positive.
Overwhelmingly so, based on the reviews. Words like enjoyable, easy to read, life-changing pop up a lot.
Profound approach to letting go of control. Good wake-up call. People seem to be having genuine aha moments.
And specifically mentioning sections on family suggests it's hitting close to home in those really important relationships.
And the simplicity seems key. People are calling it beautifully simple, easy to put into practice.
Which is huge for any kind of self-improvement tool, isn't it? If it's too complicated, people just won't stick with it.
Right. But simple doesn't mean superficial here, apparently. Powerful and insightful comes up too. People feel it's worth the money.
That combination is kind of the sweet spot. Easy to grasp, easy to start, but with real depth and impact.
Now, it wasn't all glowing. There was some mixed feedback on relatability.
Yeah.
Most found the examples relatable, the approach compassionate, but a few felt some parts were repetitive.
Yeah, that can happen. Reinforcing a core message sometimes tips into feeling redundant for some readers. Finding that balance is tricky.
One review even mentioned literally repeated sentences, which is maybe an editing thing.
Could be. Or maybe intentional repetition for emphasis that just didn't land well for that reader.
But okay, let's look at the Kindle highlights. This is interesting. What specific lines are people grabbing onto?
Yeah, that's direct insight into what's resonating most.
Top highlight, by far. No matter how hard you try, you will never be able to control or change another person. The only person you are in control of is you. Your thoughts, your actions, your feelings.
Wow. That's pretty much the foundational truth, isn't it? The core of the whole theory.
Absolutely. The fact that so many people highlighted that says a lot.
It really anchors the let them idea. You can only control you, so
Yeah.
let them be them.
Another super popular one. The reality is, no matter how hard you try or what you do, you cannot control other people, and yet you live your life as if you can.
That's a confronting one, right? It points out that disconnect between what we know intellectually and how we actually operate day to day.
Yeah, that underlying assumption that if I just try hard enough, I can manage this person or situation.
A lot of anxiety stems from that illusion of control.
And one more big one. The problem with waiting is no one is coming. The only permission you need is your own.
Ooh, I like that one. That feels very empowering. Ties into taking initiative, right?
Exactly. Stop waiting for external validation or the right time. Let them wait. You go.
It connects let them directly to taking action in your own life.
So circling back to Mel Robbins herself, her influence is undeniable. The podcast, the followers.
Yeah, she's built a massive platform, being called a billion-view podcaster by the Wall Street Journal, recognized by Time. That's significant reach.
Leading expert in life improvement, mindset, behavior change. Seems like fair titles.
Absolutely. And the global reach, 2 books in 50 languages. That's incredible.
Plus, she founded her own media company, 143 studios, Forbes 50, over 50. The accolades keep coming.
It shows she's not just an author or a speaker, but a real force in the personal development industry. Her podcast has won awards, too.
And we should mention Sawyer Robbins, listed as co-author on the cover now.
Right, good point. Collaboration often adds different dimensions.
So for anyone listening who's intrigued, the book came out late 2024, December 24th. Hay House is the publisher.
Available in the usual formats: hardcover, Kindle, audiobook. About 336 pages.
And hitting #1 on bestseller lists like the New York Times, Sunday Times, Amazon, Audible. Clearly, it struck a chord.
Massively. That kind of success suggests it's meeting a real need out there.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins and Sawyer Robbins. What's the core takeaway?
I think it's fundamentally a tool for reclaiming your personal power. Simple, maybe, but powerful.
Yeah, it's about consciously deciding I'm not going to pour my energy into trying to control things I can't, mainly other people.
Exactly. It's a framework for detaching from that constant struggle, that emotional drain.
Freeing up that energy to focus on, well, on you, on what you actually can influence your thoughts, your choices, your actions.
The book suggests this leads to more peace, less stress, and a clearer path towards what you actually want in life. Building resilience, better relationships based on acceptance.
Okay, so here's something to chew on as we finish up. Think about just one area in your life right now, just one. Where could applying this let them idea make the biggest difference? Like today. Maybe it's a coworker, a family member, maybe it's how you react to the news.
Yeah, one specific situation.
What would it actually feel like to just let them? To release that need to control or fix or manage that one thing? What could you do with that mental energy you'd get back?
That's a powerful question. What would that freedom feel like, even in just one small area?
Yeah. Exactly. Something to think about. And hey, if this whole idea resonated, maybe checking out the book itself is the next step.